Hello everyone, welcome to the LTM podcast powered by SLIPSTREAM Autosports. My name is Daniel and once again I'm joined with my good mate Alex Spinozzi. How are you, mate? You ready for some more supercars
Good, mate.
chit-chat?
Good.
It's been a while since we've been on a pod together. That isn't Radio Italiana.
Yeah,
It's been,
yeah, true. We're back.
We've been fairly busy. But that's all right. We're back here. We're back for the supercars. Of course, they had their Townsville round last time out. And what a round that was. Very, very exciting. Always a blast in sunny or not so sunny Townsville, as we said on our show last night. What do you think of the weekend?
I think it was probably the best one of the year, to be honest. Like, just in terms of the race quality was good, the winners were different. That always helps. And yeah, I just think overall, like, it was a pretty fun round.
Yeah, it was generally quite enjoyable. And yeah, the debate at the moment is is this the best one so far this year? And I reckon, because the second best, in my opinion, was Melbourne, with that Nick Percat win and those sprint races. They were exciting. But for a non-sprint race, it was rather exciting. I really enjoyed it. Cam and Chaz were neck and neck all race. It was great to see. And then we got a Matt Payne victory on the Sunday, which is beautiful. By the way, guys, for listening on Spotify and YouTube as a playback, if you're new to us, we're a motorsport podcast where we cover everything worldwide. We do Supercar and Formula One podcasts live over on YouTube and TikTok. Just go to our socials to stay up to date when that happens, and you can join and ask questions and to be featured in the pod. And then stick around if you're on TikTok after the live stream podcast for a Q&A at the end. We've got Bryce, Jake, and Liam at the moment. We had Supermax as well. So how you going, guys? Thanks for tuning in like you always do. You guys are legends. Liam, how you going, mate? Bryce here says Townsville was definitely the best round so far. Yeah, I agree. And we've seen some bangers around Townsville. But let's start off with Super 2, Alex. Because we got quite energetic about it when we did our Radio Italiana show, which you guys will tune in after this because it didn't upload properly. Yeah, Ivan, I had to change topics.
We had to calm him down, I reckon, internally, because yeah, he's not really thrilled, and I'm the same. Like,
I mean,
you got these such expensive cars, these talented drivers, and more safety cars than green flag. Yeah, it's just a bit of a joke, a little bit, like this is the entry category into supercars, the premier racing category in Australia, and that's what you're showing off. Like, these crashes that are happening are so not dumb, but like they're avoidable.
It does
just say that
ruin the professionalism side of things. For like, if we see the likes of the 86 series was this weekend, right? Porsche was this weekend. They raced, despite a Porsche doing like a side Tony Hawk rail, it was a clean weekend for everyone else but the Super 2 race. And that shouldn't be the case.
Yeah, I think, look, I agree. I agree with that. But, like, also the fact that I want to shout out Cooper Murray because I feel very sorry for him. It's the worst start to any of his championships he's ever done, he said. He's actually 21st in the championship, and I'm pretty sure he's qualified in the top 5 every race.
Yeah, well, that's what...
he's the most unlucky driver ever.
Well, that's what Garth and Chad were saying over the commentary over the weekend. Cooper has the pace to be up the front, but he's just involved in so many incidents. Not all of them his own fault, It's just he's in the wrong place, wrong time, and he's had a rough start to the season, that's for sure. And he doesn't belong where he does now. Obviously, he belongs close to Kai Allen and whatnot. So a bit disappointing. But Bryce here says Jack Perkins is overrated. I don't mind him. I quite like Jack. I'm happy that he won this weekend. But even Jack made a good point. Like, a lot of those drivers could be where he was this weekend, But unfortunately, moments like that happened, and like, for example,
actually, in race one, all of them could have been with him if they didn't crash from second.
Yeah, like
onwards.
Brad Vaughan, right? He got involved in both incidents on each day. I don't think it was always. I don't think any of it was his fault, but he just got caught in the wrong time, and that's unfortunate. And he's one of the top runners too. But they definitely need to calm down a little bit with their chaos, because obviously we saw Bathurst had a pile up, Barbagallo, Cam McLeod went flying to a different state, and now of course Townsville there was a car park issue. Even on Sunday there was too. Luckily there wasn't any safety car on the Sunday, and luckily
I didn't catch the Super 2 race Sunday.
Oh, well, everyone pretty much got away unscathed except for Job Stewart, who apparently caused that incident on the Sunday, and he got a penalty for it. Colin, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it as well. You said something about here, Cam Waters. Let's have a look here. What did you say? You said Cam left his second stop too late. I reckon he could have won the second race if he came in around like 4 laps prior. Yeah. Basically, this whole weekend was all about strategy, as well. And even Campbell.
It's interesting how it's so interesting how different Matt Payne's was on Saturday, Sunday,
unique, wasn't it?
And won.
Yeah.
It was very weird. Like I was saying on the radio last night, but after his last stop, I actually thought he had to pit again.
Yeah,
because he only put like 11, 13 liters in the first stop, which is nothing.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how they made that strategy work, but
it worked very well for them, to the point that they were 8 seconds down the road at the end of the race. But Chaz Moster had wheel nut problems as well, and he's rated the wheel nuts as the worst in the whole entire world, pretty much. The Gen 3 wheel nuts. So he's not a happy camper. Of course, he had that incident in Topor when the wheel nut literally fell off, and the wheel fell off with it. He hasn't
had the best of luck when it comes to pit stop.
No, but tell you what, who didn't have luck this weekend? Actually, no. Before we do that, let's just quickly dive over the top 3 for the Super 2. All right, let's before we get into the big ones, because we are getting carried away here. Let's have a quick look at the top 3.
Hang on, let me answer Bryce's question. He had a brake failure, so he went from 150 kilometers an hour in the braking zone to 0 by hitting the wall.
Yeah, that was some horrible footage.
Brake failure.
That was quite nasty. But good to see his teammate Zay Morse back. He did well, given how he's had 5 months out of the car, technically. Good to see him there. Jack Perkins claimed the win for race 1 for the Super 2s ahead of Aaron Cameron, who's been announced as Aaron Love's co-driver. So we've got the Aaron team, or Aaron squad for that one. And he that's well deserved.
Aaron Mobile.
It's really good to see that. Hope he does well with that one. And then Max Vido in P3 there. I don't know if I'll bother mentioning Super 3. I might as well, because literally there was only 2 cars in Super 3, which was the Nissans with Bircher and Maxwell. I don't know if they counted that or they just included that into the Super 2. I don't know. It's 2 cars for Super. They've really gone downhill.
It doesn't even exist.
No. To the point where they just had qualifying all together, instead of splitting them up. Because that would have been silly if they split them up. Just 2 cars going out by themselves for a while.
Yeah.
Rob, how you going, mate? Good to see you, mate. Waters drive of the weekend. Good to see him winning again. Yeah, exactly. Like, this is where Tickford should be. This is where we expected Tickford to be when they got down from 4 to 2. Because obviously Thomas Randall did very well as well. Those cars looked really good. And we will get into the team standings soon, but Alex pointed out earlier that it was before we started recording that Tickford have moved up 2 places, which is great as well. Let's have a look at
they had a really good weekend.
Race 2 for Super 2. We've got Kai Allen, who's on his way to achieving or making history by becoming the first driver to win back-to-back for the Super 2 championship. We got a few rounds left, but he's definitely on his prime at the moment. Zach Bates in second place. Nice one here for Walkinshaw Andretti United. And in third place is Jack Perkins. And Campbell Logan, I just want to shout him out as well, P4 for Walkinshaw. It's good to see them up there as well. Now, with that being said, let's get straight into the big one, the main game. Randall wasn't too far behind. He did really well. I loved, I don't know if you saw it, the Saturday race. He was really, he was matching Chaz Mostert. Honestly thought he could have won too. And then
he was genuinely up there this weekend.
Yeah, and then he just fell back towards the back end. But no, he did very, very well. He should be satisfied with that. 2 fifth places, you can't complain. Another person that dropped a bit was Will Davison, as well. He had some decent pace on the Saturday, but then fell back.
There was another very big, unfortunate downward movers. While I'm writing the championship standing series, Nick Percat.
Yeah.
He had a diabolical weekend. He went from 4th to 9th in the championship.
Do you know what happened? I know what happened on the Sunday, but is there a reason for Saturday why he wasn't there, or is he just not there?
I don't know. I think it was just pace. Like they didn't qualify very well. No, hang on. Sorry, no, he got caught up in that lap 1 incident.
That was Sunday, wasn't it? Or was that Saturday? Because I know
Saturday. Him
and Anton and Brody. That's right. Yeah, Saturday. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I was getting confused with okay. Will Brown had that crash on the Sunday. That's the only crash we saw. Saturday.
Yeah. But Sunday he didn't have.
Wonder if it has anything to do with the fact Saturday happened.
He didn't qualify. Maybe, but yeah, the qualifying wasn't very good.
No, but
Cam Hill did all right though. He finished top 10 both races.
Yeah, he did very well. So yeah, it's very troubling, very interesting, but still, nonetheless, I'm happy to see Nick Percat there till the end of 2027. So it's just unfortunate that the week he got announced, he had a horrible weekend, but that's all right. That's part of racing. That's what happens. But with that being said, let's get straight into how we run things here and Let's Talk Motorsport. If you're new here, how we do it is we run through the team standings after this round, of course, and we judge everyone based off. We run through the list, basically, and work our way like that, if that makes sense. So starting off with the guys who were hoping for a better result, and Alex is ecstatic about this, given with his Chaz shirt there. Red Bull Ampol Racing still lead, but they had a horrible weekend. They've got 2,922 points. Brock Feeney, 2 7th place finishes, which is very important because what I'm about to say is important for championship. Whereas Will Brown finished 3rd on the Saturday after starting 13th, but he finished 24th on the Sunday after having a tangle with David Reynolds, which ultimately ruined his race really, really early on. And now that has narrowed down to 78 points instead of 140, I think it was. So it's definitely gone.
And I think even more interestingly, the gap between Brock and Chaz now is even closed into less than 200.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, the 4 guys aren't out of it. Let me just tell you that.
No, definitely don't. I saw an article from Supercars, like, is there a 4-way battle? That'll be interesting. With Cam coming in.
I would even say 5, honestly, with Matt Payne. Chuck him in the mix.
He is a dark horse, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, I think after that, from there... Huh? What was that?
I said he's a dark horse, isn't he? This season.
Matt Payne. Yeah, 100%. I mean, he's very consistent. Like, he may have not won a race until this weekend, but, has Chaz won a race this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, he won Perth. Rob, I just want to point this out. Rob is in love with your Scotty Mac poster. If you love that, he's got a cardboard cutout.
Yeah.
A life-size one. There you go. And he also says if Kai isn't in the main game next year, there's something wrong. Exactly. He has to be in the DJR somehow. Surely.
100%.
And what scared me was that apparently DJR might have a Super 2 team next year. Hopefully, I swear, hopefully Kai Allen does not go there. He goes into the main game. Whether it be replacing Anton or Will, I don't know yet, because at the moment, Will did a lot better than Anton this round. Anton just... he was involved in that incident with Percat on the Saturday, but Sunday he's not where Anton... he's actually, in saying that, sorry, Will finished 12th and Anton 13th, but... no, Will has been quite speedy.
They never seem to have two... They never seem to have two consistent days on a weekend. It's usually one or the other.
Yeah.
I know Perth, they were pretty good on both. But apart from that, was it Perth? Yeah. Apart from that, it's not been too great of a year for them.
They had that round in Topor where they got the podiums. And that's sort of where they started
Topor, that's
up.
the one I meant.
Okay. But I was just laughing here because I can't find. Oh yeah, here we go. Bryce Percat doing a Checo, gets a new contract.
Yeah, the Bryce.
It's very true. Jared Crab, here you go, mate,
I don't know if
on
you saw me
YouTube.
giggle.
Hey,
saw me giggle on the stream before. That's why.
Oh, okay. Big error for Brown, probably Kai and Jet in DJR Super 2. Yeah, I can easily see Jet maybe in that Super 2 saddle for DJR, but Kai, I would rather want him in the main game. But who knows? I can see that happening though if that doesn't happen. Lachlan Wall here says, so you think Will Brown wins the championship still? Who is the danger? I still think Will is still faster than Feeney. He just had a bad run this weekend because based off the Saturday performance, right? Both of them had Triple Eight had a horrible weekend on pace altogether. Brock was in the shootout, I believe, on the Saturday, or he just missed it, one of the two. But Will was 13th, and he managed to climb his way up to 3rd, whereas Brock stayed 7th. It just shows Brock is he's just not where Will is at the moment. But anyway, in saying that, we are halfway, so anything can happen. Yeah, I think both Will and Anton are both out of contract at the end of the year. There's I haven't really kept in the loop who's staying, who's safe and who's not. But at least I know Nick Percat is safe.
I can find out.
Yeah, you can find out if you can. That'll be fantastic. But let's move on to Walkinshaw Andretti United in P2 with 2,071 points. Chaz Mostert with a 2nd place and a 3rd place. And Ryan Wood a 17th and a 6th. Ryan did fairly well on the Sunday. Not ideal on the Saturday, but he did rather well. First time in the main game there in Townsville. Good effort. Chaz Mostert, though, he did very, very well. I honestly thought he was going to win on the Saturday, to be honest with you. And then when the heavens opened up in the back end of the race, literally when the rain literally just came out of nowhere, sort of like McLaren in Formula 1. Cam Waters just came out of nowhere and just suddenly had pace again. And that's when he oh, hello. All good.
There goes the camera.
There goes my camera.
By the way, it seems DJF has not signed either driver yet.
Yeah, okay. So they're both in danger.
Yeah,
Jared Crab here says Will and Anton have had pace at times. The car setup issues still though. So yeah, it's regardless, they're having a better season than they did last year. Which is surprising given how they're the ones that build it all. I don't think Jordan. I don't think Cam is going to leave. I think he's actually stated he's staying for 2025 with Tickford, with ambitions to do some wildcards for NASCAR. As in saying that as well, Will Brown is seeking for some wildcards as well. So I think that he's safe there for now. That'll be interesting. Speaking of Tickford, nice transition. Unless you have anything to say about Walkinshaw.
No. Cool t-shirts.
They do. Oh, did you see that guy that fell over on the broadcast?
Yeah.
Poor bloke.
That was funny.
Yeah, that cracked me up. And they're a great team, family team. I love it. The vibe there is always fantastic. P3 Tickford. They've, like I said, they moved up from 5th or as you said earlier, 2,066 points. So they're only what 6 or so 7 points away, 5 points away. They're close with Walkinshaw. Cam Waters a 1-2 with Thomas 2/5. What?
Oh, they are too. I didn't realize they were that close. They're 5 points behind them. Wow, so, considering the disastrous start to the year they've had.
They've done well. Yeah, like I said before, this is where we expected them to be when they got rid of 2 cars in favour to keep 2. Because they were, like, straight off the bat, they were the ones to beat. In practice, both Thomas and Cam were quick, and really showed that in the races. Strategy did cost them on the Sunday. I think it just, Matt Payne won hands down with, well, he did have pace, but Cam Waters was faster, but the strategy let him win that time around. But still, fantastic weekend overall for Cam.
Really,
hey?
There's nothing Cam really could have done, no. I don't think. Someone commented, I forgot who it was, but they commented that perhaps if Cam pitted 4 laps before he did, that there could have been a chance for him to get the lead.
That was Cohen.
I don't know. I think Payne's pace was a bit too fast anyway, to be honest. I think Cam was the more consistent of the weekend, but Matt had some speed at the end. He was pulling away.
Yeah, 8 seconds, like we said.
Like, he wasn't getting caught at the end.
Bryce here made a good point that we will cover. I might as well cover it now. Tickford are now making steering racks, and they gave one to MSR, for Nick Percat, because you and I were having chats with that, Bryce. I remember. For all teams to use, that'd be good. Jordan made a good point. I think you said this in one of our comments. I think we will get WAU versus Tickford title fight in 25. Who knows? Maybe we could see it in 24. Like, at least drivers anyway. I think Ryan Wood still.
Yeah, but hang on. Cooking. What about Red Bull? Is that, Jordan, you think, going to be a 3-way fight, or just them and then Red Bull have a bad year?
Probably.
Interested to know.
Probably both. But yeah, maybe we might see a three-way fight this year. But I don't think Ryan. I'm not going to put too much pressure on Ryan Wood. It's his first year, so maybe next year he might be. He's like Oscar Piastri.
Oh. I mean, even despite Ryan Wood being a rookie and the results, most of them have been pretty good. They're still second in the championship.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, it's close to third, but like, he's still consistent. He's still there. He finished 6th on, was it 6th? I'm pretty sure on Sunday.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's still good.
Lachlan, did we ever get to the bottom of why Brody didn't race at the start of the year, mate? It's quick answer, no. There's people Chinese whispers. There's still whispers floating around everywhere. And everything we've covered on our TikTok is everything we know about it. All right. So if you want to check that out, and you're more than welcome to, but that's all we know. Because if I know something, I will let you know. Unless I'm not allowed to. In this case, I don't know anything. Jordan says he's in the middle between a 3-way championship fight. I would love to see that. That'd be cool.
That makes sense.
Because at the moment they're 800 odd away from Red Bull. But hey, doing a lot better than how they did last year. That's for sure. Walkinshaw. They've finally gotten used to that Mustang now. And speaking of that, Mustangs overall had a fantastic weekend compared to the Camaros, which was also a shock.
They dominated.
So all the Camaro parody people complain, as they do. So that was funny. Let's move on to Grove in 4th position, or Penrite Racing, with 1,954 points. Matt Payne, 4th and a 1st, with Richie 2 14th place finishes. And good to see Ivan in the chat on YouTube with SLIPSTREAM Autosports. Welcome, buddy. Good to have you on board once again. Yeah, fantastic strategy from the boys and girls there. Absolutely amazing. I didn't see too much of Richie this weekend, unfortunately, to be honest. But he looks quite consistent there. But Matt Payne did bloody well. But he always does. He always does. Of course, we saw him win at the Adelaide 500 last year. So street circuits is his forte. Bryce says, I'm just glad we didn't hear the series champion is back. Yeah, Scafey likes to milk that quite a lot. It's almost like there are Camaro tracks and Mustang tracks. Yeah, funny that, hey. But yeah, no, always good. I love the parody humor. But no, they did well. Next up is P5, Dick Johnson Racing with 1,834 points. Will Davison, 8th and a 12th. Anton, unfortunately, retired after that lap 1 crash, where he was basically sandwiched in between Percat and Kostecki, which we will get into soon. And he finished 13th. Yeah, a bit of an average weekend for him overall, unfortunately. Will, though, he did show some pace, but did fall back towards the end there. 6th place is Team 18 with 1,723. They were a bit mid this weekend, although, Mark Winterbottom, he finished 8th on the Sunday, but finished 13th on Saturday. David Reynolds, 15th and 22nd on the Sunday after that bubble with Will Brown. Obviously,
really
we
awkward.
do watch F1. What did you say, Alex?
That was really awkward, that crash.
And Will
also, I don't know if you noticed who was on the right side of Will Brown. Did you notice?
No, I didn't notice. At least
it was Mark Winterbottom. So either way, it was going to crash into a Team 18 car.
Team 18 sandwich. Yeah, right. Returning the favour for the 888 machinery.
Yeah.
No, but Will Brown, he owned up to that one.
This car's crap.
Do you know what was funny? Do you follow the Inbred Facebook, like Inbred Supercars Facebook page? I think that's what they're called. Basically, because they basically point out all the stupid people who like to comment stupid things. For example, someone blamed it on a Ford driver, the fact that Will and Dave came together. And do you know what the worst part? He has my name. So I might have to legally change my name now. I don't know. Everyone literally in that comment section was like, what? Yeah, unfortunately Reynolds just wasn't.
That's like, hang on. That's like us saying that every F1 incident is Ocon's fault.
Well, it is. No, for real, yeah.
Exactly. All right, maybe it's not that. Yeah.
Exactly, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, that was... standing away at Grove's not as quick as expected, yeah, Gerald Krebs said. Yeah, exactly. Like, Richie just I don't know, I don't know where he was this weekend, unfortunately. But...
yeah.
He's not as quick as everyone pointed out. Unless he's just had a bad weekend. I don't know.
Nah,
he's had some good moments.
The couple year gaps hurt him a bit.
But Matt is definitely in his prime at the moment.
It wasn't the start.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It wasn't the start of the year. He's kind of fallen off a bit.
I think he was actually faster than Matt. He actually finished ahead of Matt Payne at round 1 from memory. That was a long time ago.
He finished 4th, I think, at Bathurst.
That's what I mean. But that's all right. Another one that didn't have a great weekend, well, at least on one half of the garage anyway, P7 is Matt Stone Racing with 1,702 points. Unfortunately, Nick Percat, 21st and 20th. 21st after he had that crash. And then on Sunday, like I said, don't know what happened to him, whether he was still battling with the troubles of Saturday, I don't know. Cam Hill, though, he had a pretty good weekend, a 10th and a 9th. And it was funny in the commentary. Scathy and Crompo got mixed up with who's who, because this is the first time this weekend that they actually looked quite similar, if not the same. Just just a hint at
True.
the commentary team needs a bit of a makeover. Next up is Erebus, the reigning champions, who have had a rough start to their 24 season and horrible weekend now. Well, again, like I said with Matt Stone Racing, the other half, they've currently got 1,672 points. Jack LeBrock, 6th and a 4th. The birthday boy did really, really well to get pole position on the Sunday. Brody Kostecki, though, one to forget for him, 19th and 18th. Now, of course, 19th, he got tangled in that crash, but Sunday he was just nowhere. Apparently, I said it on Radio Italiano, that he had about 3 or 4 steering rack changes throughout the weekend, so he's had a lot of trouble.
Is that possible?
I don't know.
But I understand the Saturday crash one, but what were the other 2 for?
I don't know. I keep forgetting there's a cord there. I don't know, but like, I like that Mark Larkham simply put out to Kostecki, you're not going to win the championship. But it's true. He's not going to win it this year. I remember all the hype with Scafey saying, the champ is back. Can he win it? No, he can't. He really can't. If he could have won it, he would have.
In good news, though, he is ahead of Todd Hazelwood.
Well, that's good. There you go. Someone who's not racing anymore. He's now ahead. Yeah. It's like saying Logan Sargent's now ahead of. No, I'm kidding. That will never happen. He still won't get ahead of Ollie Behrman.
He's not ahead of no one.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, Kostecki was nowhere again, unfortunately. And Bryce here says, "Yep, another great weekend for Brody." Let's move on to P9, Nulon Racing. They had a bit weird weekend. 1,586 points. Unfortunately, they weren't as quick as they were in Darwin, with James Golding 16th and 10th, with Tim Slade 23rd and 17th. Jordan, do you think Brody will get a drive next year? Yeah, I reckon he will. I reckon it's the car that's having the problem as well as him, but I reckon he will leave Erebus regardless of what happens. Whether he joins.
But where's he going to go, though?
No idea. Unless Triple Eight whip out a third car or something, Dizzy
Like,
style. I don't know.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, he's not going to sign with Erebus. Walkinshaw's done. Tickford's probably got their drivers. Shell V-Power's probably got their drivers. Well, maybe. Penrite, maybe, if they get rid of Stataway.
Do you know where he could end up?
Like, I'm just thinking of the cars that would be good.
Do you know where he could end up, maybe? He might just leave Supercars and race in Trans Am properly with TFH. Maybe, I don't know if he wants to do that. But obviously, there's TA2 as well, so maybe do, I don't know. But there's not a lot of supercar teams. Or Stormlad here says Brody to Premiere, maybe. That could be a good boost for
Premiere. But there's also like the other thing of, do they want all the publicity of what's happened? You know, there'll be heaps of questions after, why did you actually leave? But I don't know. I think Brody's kind of done he won the championship. He's kind of done everything, I guess, maybe besides winning Bathurst.
Which he got close to last year.
Maybe this is it. Who knows?
That's it. Well, Betty.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to get close.
Well, Betty, actually, I want to point that out because Betty had a interview with, I think, Auto Action. By the way, heaps of writing led to nothing, except she spoke about this part of selling the team, maybe. Because obviously, if you guys don't know, Aaron Hickman has walked away from a deal with Erebus in terms of selling the team. So I don't know why or what happened there. But Betty still said she's open to selling it to the right person for the right reasons. She's achieved everything she wanted to do. She won a championship. She's won Bathurst there with the squad. So she's happy to give it to the right person. So who knows even if Erebus will stay there next year. See what happens. Still got heaps till the end. We're only halfway in the year, so anything can happen.
There might not even be an Erebus on the grid. Like if they sell, I'm assuming they're going to change name.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless Peter Adderton magically appears somehow after LeBrock wearing that Boost mobile hat.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
People will always ask that. It's just part of the sport now, and doesn't matter where Brody goes. Yeah, exactly. It will always continue to haunt him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, someone might not even want him next year because of all this.
Yeah, exactly. Lucy, welcome back. Good to have you back after the F1 watch along. Hope you're doing well. Hope you enjoyed that race too. You'll be happy. Lewis Hamilton won that one. Yeah, Barry Ryan was in Townsville. Yeah, that whole Barry Ryan thing, because that's also another thing Betty said. He's not going anywhere. So that's one other thing to learn from that as well. Bryce thinks Brody to NASCAR next year 110%, so he's highly confident that will happen. I would love to see that, but Peter Adderton was funding that for him. So see what happens. It's really messy at the moment, but I'm sure we'll see.
I reckon Shane's gonna.
I mean, I could see that happening too. He would actually fit nicely at Trackhouse. The vibe there.
Well, maybe not at Trackhouse, but like he's gonna vouch for him. He beat him, so
yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's true. Very true.
He beat him, so someone's gonna want him.
Yeah, and Jared Crabb makes a good point here. Dave left a 10-year deal after 1 year. It didn't say what happened, and even Anton left as well. Everyone, a lot of talk has been going around in the paddock for years.
M. Brown,
yeah, exactly. A lot of talk has been going on. Because I think from memory, I don't want to, I don't want to dive into it too much because we've covered all of it on our TikTok and stuff, so you can check that out if you want. But let's move on to P10, which they had a interesting weekend. BJR with 1,576 points. So of course, next round there'll be the 10th team in pit lane with all 4 of them. We've got Andre Heimgartner 9th and 11th with Bryce Forward 11th and 15th. Bit of a okay weekend. It's obviously they're not as bad as they have been this year, but they're not as good as where they should be. If that makes
No,
sense.
9th place is their best finishing was a bit disappointing.
Yeah. Blanchard Racing in 11th with 1,209 points. James Courtney 12th and 16th after starting 3rd on the grid on the Sunday, dropped back to 16th. That was quite interesting to watch. First car out, and then he somehow still managed to get up to P3. But no, he fell back afterwards. But
yeah, that was cool.
It was cool. I quite like that. Yeah, 4 car. We keep saying we agree, Jordan. 4 cars is a bit too much for BJR, as we've seen the success of Tickford.
I loved how you completely ignored
what
Jones and
yeah, no, because
Evans.
They're 12th. They're actually behind Blanchard, so I'm getting there.
Yeah, I know, but they're still in the same team.
Yeah, I know. I'm just following I'm following the leaderboard. But
so stupid.
I mean, easily done.
So stupid. Why have they separated them? And I love how they got 4 cars and they're still 10th.
I think it's because legally on the rules
That's
you
so
can
sad.
have a maximum of 2 per team. Because I remember.
True. I'm gonna combine their. I'm gonna do an experiment. I'm gonna combine their points and see what they would be.
All right, because I remember when Triple Eight became a 3-car team, that Craig Lands had to be on his own. He had to be Caltex instead of Red Bull. Why you do that?
Yeah, that's true. No, yeah, you're right. I completely bottled that.
You can tally up all. Oh yeah, okay. Stormlad Alex is on it. It still doesn't surpass Triple Eight on points, which is why.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Bruh, Evans was 6th.
Yeah,
Actually, Bryce, you made a good point. I missed that part. Evans was 6th with 15 laps to go, but they were on a 3-stop. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not as bad as I thought.
No, but
they'll be second.
Yeah, and before we get into the last half of BJR, Aaron Love had a bit of an average weekend, unfortunately for him. He's still learning the ropes. 20th and 23rd. And 12th, BJR, the last part of BJR, the one I didn't miss. Macaulay Jones, 18, 19. Jackson Evans, 22nd, 21st. Brody to BJR, good at pit stops. Yeah, that'll be good. But I'll rather than go down to a 2-car team, to be honest. Just 4 isn't working for him, but I don't see that happening anytime soon, to be honest. For them switching down. Did you calculate the points, or you didn't end up doing it? You just realised that?
Yeah, it was 2775.
27. Okay, so they're technically second in the team standings.
Yeah.
If you break the rules. But yeah, no. So, and in saying that as well, that is the pit lane order for Sydney as well, which is good reference point. And of course, that's when BJR will all be together. So Blanchard is actually at the back. Let's have a quick look at the drivers' standings. Alex, have you got that up? I haven't quite got that up yet.
I do.
Would you like to read through them?
Sure. It is Will Brown still leading the way. Like we said, only a 78-point gap to Brock Beanie. Supercars website's not great, so I have no idea the split without doing maths to Chaz Mostert. He's in third, but the gap has gone down. I know that much. Kim Waters is fourth, Matt Payne fifth. Then there's probably the biggest gap here to James Golding in sixth. Like I said, the gaps are pretty small in this mid-pack area. Like I said, Nick Percat went from fourth to ninth in one weekend.
There's nothing in it.
So yeah, James Golding, yeah, true. James Golding is sixth, like I said. Seventh is Will Davison, Jack LeBrock eighth after his pretty good weekend. And Nick Percat, who I mentioned, ninth. Thomas Randall 10th. Time Gardner in 11th. Stanaway in 12th. Winterbottom in 13th. Ahead of Deepa Squally in 14th. We have David Reynolds 15th. Cam Hill somehow is still 16th. I mentioned in the preview video that I don't think he actually should be 16th because he's better than 16th.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It just seems like he's been a bit unlucky.
Yeah. And
from what I've watched to seeing where he is, I'm a bit confused.
And Ryan Wood for that matter as well in 17th. Like he belongs a bit higher up, but he had a rough start to the year.
Yeah.
0 points at Bathurst, so that.
Yeah, maybe that's all it was. Whereas Cam Hill had the opposite. He had a great start, so I don't know where his points have disappeared to.
Strange.
James Courtney, you already said 17th. Ryan Wood, James Courtney 18th. Bryce Forward 19th. Tim Slade 20th. Jackson Evans 21st. Macaulay Jones 22nd. Aaron Love 23rd. Kostecki finally is ahead of Todd Hazelwood in 24th. And then Todd and Cooper Murray to round it off.
I love the photos. I just love how serious Todd Hazelwood looks. in the profile photo there. But I don't think Tim Slade will be there at the end, next year. I'm just going to say it now. He was quite quick in Tokor.
Maybe that's where Brody can go.
Maybe because people have been saying Todd Hazelwood could maybe end up at Team 18 because I think both of those drivers aren't safe either. So a lot. It's going to be a lot of big silly season. Hey,
Golding should be. It'd be nice.
Well, in saying that, he could even end up at Erebus if Brody leaves. It depends on their situation, whether they go down to 1 or 2 or just disappear completely. And Bryce, just to answer your question, mate, they're not splitting the BJR cars up together. When it comes to garages, they will all be together. They'll just basically 10th place is their highest, so that's where all 4 cars will be, and Blanchard will be behind them. But currently in the team's ladder, Blanchard splits the 2, if that makes sense. Soul Sniper, my birthday goat buddy, has entered the chat. Indeed, mate. Welcome. Just for reference, Alex, he shares the same birthday as me. That's why we're the goat.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, Ryan Wood's daily is a Hyundai Get. He is a legend indeed. But Alex, who was your driver of the weekend after this weekend?
Oh, probably Cam Waters has to take it. I would say.
Yeah.
Especially we keep mentioning how he's so unlucky, and every time he's fast, he gets taken out. So this week he didn't get taken out, so he gets my driver of the week.
There you go. Well, I was going to say Matt Payne, as well. But you made a good point with Cam Waters. But I reckon Matt Payne, because he finished 4th and 1st. Like, he was up there. But in saying that, instead of Payne, let's just go with Penn Wright, because the whole team just did a sensational. They pulled a clutch and won the Sunday, and then Payne carried them home. So
yeah.
But yeah, Bryce here says Waters or Chaz for him. Soul Sniper, we loved the round. It was fantastic. Probably the best of the season so far, we reckon. What about you, mate? What do you reckon? And by the way, guys, just a quick announcement. Well, not announcement, just to let everyone know. For those live on YouTube or TikTok, if when this podcast ends on YouTube, we'll be doing a live Q&A over on TikTok for probably 20 or so minutes. So if you want to ask your questions, do so then. And also for guys who's listening to this maybe tomorrow, the day after, or next year, check up on our socials to know when we do our live podcasts and stuff, so you can be the likes of Jared Crab, Stormlad, Bryce, Soul Sniper, Jordan, Lucy, and another Lucy, and Lachlan. You can be all these legends here who joined our live stream tonight and has asked questions and has been featured. Yeah, any final thoughts, Alex, before we wrap up tonight's podcast?
No, it seems like isn't there a pretty small gap to the next event?
Yeah, next weekend, the 19th, 20th, 21st weekend.
Yeah.
So that the Sydney Super Night, that's going to be exciting.
Beautiful, my birthday.
And speaking of that, we'll be doing a preview next week, in the lead up too. And it's going to be an exciting race. 2 night races, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. And Lockie Dalton will be doing a wildcard entry. I keep forgetting about that cord.
There goes your camera again.
Keep my cord anyway. So that could be exciting. Hopefully it's. See, last time it wasn't very exciting, but we might see a different one this time around.
Ew.
But who knows? We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting anyway, nonetheless, in terms of championship, whether Triple Eight might have a bad round again or they might be back on form. Be a very crucial weekend for Will Brown, definitely, as he needs to finish ahead of Brock Feeney to maintain that gap, if not make it more. But we'll talk about that more next week. So everyone, thanks for tuned in. If you haven't yet, check out our Radio Italiana show as well. Depends on when you're listening. It was meant to be uploaded before we started the pod, but I had some issues, so it will be uploaded after the stream tonight. So feel free to check that out over on Spotify. The full episode's on there. The segments will be uploaded to YouTube. We've already uploaded the Formula RX-8, where we had an interview with Brock Payne from TFH Racing. I've also done a little one for the new 86s as well. So heaps of content coming our way. Tomorrow is, of course, our F1 debrief, our Silverstone Grand Prix review as well. So feel free to check that out. And, of course, check out our TikTok, because we do watch-alongs now, which is great. But thanks, everyone who has tuned in tonight. Appreciate it. Thanks for all the questions. Like I said, TikTok, stick around, because we'll be doing Q&A. Be sure to give us a 5-star rating, like and subscribe and unfollow and all that stuff to get us out there more. And stay tuned for some more announcements coming our way in the near future. Any final thoughts, Alex?
No, mate. Great show, great job. And yeah, stick around if you're on TikTok and you see us behind the scenes talking nonsense, probably.
As we always do. Well said, mate. Thanks, everyone. Bye. And thanks for watching, and bye for now.